And by the time players are getting down by now to be, last player standing will be over here. And then by now to be, and आइज मोटिला बोल ओए छिटो. And by the time only 2 minutes and 46 seconds left in this very present scenario for the team RSD and DT. Then after that Nightmare and Frenzy T is will be over here. And then after that yeah, Big 290 will be the very player to just got knocked out. And by the time 54 players are over here, with that 26 players are sitting down over here. Last place standing will be our Stone by now, and going with that very short in swords. By the time how will they go further very fight, that will also be the very thing to just talk about it. And by the time only 1 minute and 55 seconds left in this very present scenario, yeah, players are getting down by now to be, and I'm hoping for their level best, and they need to go by now to be, and they are going straight forward with that very vehicle approach by the time. And how will they go for that thing to just look after it. And only 1 minute and 30 seconds left in this very present scenario for the team Bena, Frankie and GB KZ1. Then after that Baxman Boys 7 will be the very player to just be stand over here. And by the time and only 1 minute and 20 seconds left in this very present scenario for the team RA. Overally 3 players are over here by now to me, and they are definitely try to go for it. And Aligo context there is the availability of the very 1 minute to go for the very another stage of the zone, which will be our stage 2 for sure to be. And by the time 158 seconds left in this very present scenario for the team UFO Stones is over here. By the time Candy Fispo Avtara has already got knocked out. Then after that Rebo Fadu will be over here by the time. And how will definitely how will they go for now to be, that will also be the very thing to just look after it. And 51 players and 18 teams are over here for the teams Bena, Frankie and GB. Then after that KZ1, Bax, Boys 7, only 30 seconds. And by the team TDB overall women standing are over here. 151 player in 18 teams by the team. And players are getting down. And for the team RST, yeah, as to talk about them, 3 minutes standing are over here. One of the players is absent for this very certain team. EXTS Nori also got taken down by now to be, and players are getting down by now to be. They have already managed out 6 frag for their team to just talk about it, and I'm definitely hoping for their level best by the time. So how will they go for it? That will also be the very thing to just look after it. 2 of the player already got knocked out, whereas 1 player just got just faced out the very revival process by the time. And I'm hoping for their level best, and they have already managed out 6 frag for their team to just look after it. For the team Kenny, how will okay only 2 minutes and 17 seconds left in this very present scenario. And
what is it?
and by the time only 2 minutes and only 2 minutes and 3 seconds left in this very present scenario. And by the time for the team BRCY, and by the time overally team DRN managed out 6 frag by the time. And by the time they are getting straight forward by now to be, and this goes the very shorts. Okay, by the time they need to go for it, and the rigorous pace for the spirit team has already been started by the time. So they are performing the very healing of action by the time. For the team EXC, 3 players are over here by now to be. How they go for it, that will also be the very thing to just talk about. And okay, there are overly 46 players and 16 teams by now to be. And overally there is availability of the very 4 minutes standing, so they definitely go for that very thing, and they are getting moved by now to be, players are getting down by now to be. That will be the very situative matter to just talk about it, and I'm definitely hoping for their level best in this very present scenario. Overally 46 players are over here with that very 16 teams by now to be, and by now to be GOG Star already got knocked in finish. This will be the very second game, and we will definitely go for the very another stage of the zone, which will be our stage start for sure to be. And the revival process has already been done, and they are getting on that very offside area. We'll just talk about it, and that goes the very shots in this very present situative matter. And by the time they are trying to go for it, only 9 seconds left in this very present situative matter to just talk about it. Only 3 seconds left in this very present scenario for the team Bena. There is the availability of the very 4 minutes standing in this very present situative era to just look after it. And for the team WP, yeah, for this very team, one of the player already got knocked in finish, but 3 players are available, and they are going straight forward by the team, and they are definitely trying to make this game in their own side. And by now to be only 1 minute and 30 seconds left in this very present situative manner for the team EXTS. Overally 4 minutes standing are over here, and they are here by now to be, and they are going with that very straightforward matter to just talk about it. And for now to be, they are getting straight out, and okay, by now to be only 1 minute and 7 seconds left in this very present situative matter. Talk about that. So in fact, Vena Frankie is over here by the time, and only 5 seconds left in this very present scenario. Has just managed out one of the player knocked by now to be in this very present situative era. Havertz has to go for the very shot. This was a very nice shot, and that was a very fine knock as well. And players are getting down, and the last place standing will be our IC by the time, and the very healing of process for this very team has already been started in this very present situative concept to just talk about that certain thing. Last place standing will be our none other than Amy. He is providing the very healing up our recovery phase to his teammates so far. And by now to be the recovery phase for this very team has already been started and done by now. They have already managed a 10 frag for their team to just talk about for the team grow. Grow. Only 3 minutes standing since one of the player already got knocked in finished by now to be, which was really not a fine thing to just talk about it so far. Only 2 minutes and 30 seconds, not 30 but 13 seconds left in this very present scenario, and we have to go with that very short in flow. Only 2 minutes and 5 seconds left in this very present situative matter to just about it. Overly they have managed out 6 frag by now to be, and in this very present situative concept they are getting upside down. And wait guys, I have or has to manage out this certain thing. Live stream is getting off itself, so that I need to manage out by going or making it as auto end off by the time. And only 1 minute and 30 seconds left in this very present situative matter. Overally 4 players are over here, and they are getting straight forward by now to be, and by now to be overally 4 minutes standing are getting straight forward by the time, and I'm hoping for their level base. And okay, and by now to be only 36 player and 13 teams are over here for the team BE. Okay, one of the player already got knocked in finish, so last player standing is over here since 2 players are absent by the time, so it is not that much fine thing to just talk about it. And they are also trying their level best to manage this game in their own side. That will be the very thing to just talk about it. Auto stop is off, so I am safe by now. Guys, wait, that will be the very thing. And 1 in 29 seconds left in this very present scenario, since this is the very okay, second game by the time, and this is the very stage start for now to be, and we have to move forward for the another stage of the zone, which will be our stage fourth for sure to be. So we definitely need to get ready for that very certain thing, and I am just hoping for their level best in this very present situative concept to just look after it. And by now to be, they have to go up, and the Haber has to go with that very vehicle approach. By the time, how will they manage this game in their own side? That will also be the very thing to just look after it and talk about. This very presence is very concerned to just look after it, and they need to go with that very vehicle approach as soon as possible by the time. And they have a fine zone, so why did they need to go? Yeah, there is no any yeah thing or yeah possible idea to go out of that place. Certainly for this very team so called DRN women is standing, they have already touched a double digit kill points, which is 10 in number, so it is a really fine thing, isn't it? I guess it is. And by now to be, they are getting in that very offside area, and they are just trying their level best in this very presence situative concept to just look after it. And how will they go for it? That will also be the very thing to just look after it. And by now to be, they need to go with that very vehicle approach. And yeah, for the team RST, players are also getting down by now to be, and they are just trying their level best to get their game done by the team. And the very mini is being gone against the very players by the time, and that will be a very fine thing to just look after it. And by the time they are going with that very shot in swords, that will be the very fine thing to just go for it. And they are trying to get that very knockdown, but they couldn't able to do that, so it is not that much fine thing to just talk about by now to be. And by now to be, only 1 minute and 20 seconds left in this very present scenario for the team EXE. One domain standing, one of the player already got knocked and finished by the time. How will they go for it? That will also be the very thing to just look after it. And only 1 minute and 7 seconds left in this very present scenario. Haber has to go for the very shots, but Goisokno by Gusaina. And this is a very stage fourth, and we have to go for the another stage of the zone for the team EXT, as Nuri already got knocked out over this area. First player already been knocked and finished, so they need to manage this game with that very trio men by the time. And Haber has to go with that very shot and flow overly. Yeah, three women is standing in this very present scenario to just talk about it. And yeah, the Haber has to go for the very fight to just talk about. They are getting up in this very present scenario. Only 30 seconds and less than that left in this very present situative concern to just look after it. And last or top 11 teams are available over here. One of the player, not just one but three of the player just got finished for this very team so called, yeah, team number 22. Last place standing is also getting some level of shots against him, but he is somehow being safe, getting down and going to the alternative cover, which will be over here. And yeah, but sadly I think he will face out the very exit by the time. But oh, he survived, lucky one. He have overly, yeah, 6 heavy consumables, which will be our first aid to just heal up by now. So it is a very fine thing. Then Haber has to go for the very fight, but haven't gone there by the time, and they are trying to get this game done on their side, so that will be the very thing to just look after it. And yeah, only last place standing is over here for the team ZZ. Two of the player knocked out. Last 2 minutes standing will be out the Hot and Hazel. Okay, 2 minutes standing are over here, and they are getting ready for the very shots. That was the shots, but couldn't able to manage that one knock by now to be. But they are definitely trying their level best to get this game in their own side. And okay, the very healing of action or looting action has already been started for this very team. For this team so called team number 17, one of the player knocked out, and they are trying to just pick that player up in their very back and just successfully get him into the very zone, so that the revival process has already been started by the time. So it is a very fine thing to just look after it. and by the time they are being ready, and only 1 minute and 15 seconds left in this very present scenario, and okay, we are at on the very top 8, so each and every teams which get inside the very top 8 will able to grab out 1 point as a placement, so it is a very fine factor to just talk about it. And so far how will they go for that very thing, or chicken, that will also be the very thing to just look after it. And okay, only 50 seconds left in this very present situative concept, and they are just holding up in this very present situation, and the very process of healing up need to do by the time. So the very bandage applying process has already been done, and they are getting straight forward for this pretty team. For the team Exos, 3 of the player already got knocked and finished. Last player is over here by the time, and they are definitely trying to get this game in their own side. So I'm hoping for their level best. How did they go for it? And by now to be they are getting straight forward by the time, and I'm hoping for their level best by now to be. And for the team TDV, players are also getting knocked, since this is a very game 2, and we have to go for more 2 of the games, which will be one Iringal and one Sanok by the time. And the Haber has to go for it, as Gigi Hazel already got knocked out by the time. 27 seconds left in this very present scenario to just talk about it. And yeah, they are here by now to be, and Haber has to go for it, but haven't gone by now. And for the team Spices already got knocked out. There are only 7 teams available by the time. Players are getting taken down. Okay, overall this team so called TTB have managed out double digit frag points, which is 10 in number by the time. So that will also be the very thing. And this was the very shots. That was a fine shots, but couldn't able to manage that perfect knock, and Haber has to go for it. And okay, last player standing also got exited by the time. There are overall 5 teams and 12 player over here by the time, and they are trying to make this game in their own side. And they are definitely trying to get up in this very situative era to just look after it. And how will they go for the very game, that will also be the very thing to just look after it. And the very vehicle availability is over there, so they are getting straight forward. 1:30 seconds left in this very present scenario. For the team UFO, players are getting down. 11 players and 4 teams are over here, and they need to has to get down by the time. 1:25 seconds left in this very present scenario. For the team so called GRO, overly 3 minutes standing, since one of the player for this very certain teams has faced out the very exit by the time, so it is not so fine. Yeah, overall 4 teams are over here with that very 11 players by now to be. Only 8 seconds left in this very present scenario. For the team GRO, 2 minutes standing are over here. Spicy already got knocked out, but these teams have not grab out any of the frag by the time, so it is not that great thing to just talk about. For the team so called GG, overall 11 kills. They have already acquired that frags, which is double digit by the time, but they have unluckily lost one of the player for them to be, but 3 minutes standing by the time. For the team Bhena, there is ability with the very 4 minutes, but they haven't got much of the frags. It's just 5 in number. For the team GRO, players are getting down. 2 of the player are knocked out. One of the player already got finished. Last player is standing, also got finished by our team so called GG from Lazy YT, and that was a very fabulous fight. Only 3 teams left in this very present scenario. Top third are over here, and this was the very second game, as I already mentioned out. The very certain thing to just look after it. And by now to be only 50 seconds and less than that left in this very present scenario, and they has to go for the very thing in this very present very concept to just by now. For the team Bena, Frankie is over there, and over the teams are over here. Havoc has to go for the very thing, and they are trying to go with that very shots, but couldn't able to manage this out in their very thing. And And by now to be 11 seconds left in this very present scenario for the team GG. Overall 3 minutes standing since one of the player already got knocked and finished by the time, so it is not that much fine. And the smoke has been thrown by now to be, and by now to be overly, and by the time only two teams are over here. Lazy is also getting that okay, last player just got exited by the time, and Bhina will be the very team to grab out the very second in this very second game, and we have already finished second game by the time. And thank you so much for watching till the very end. And the very hashtag 2 team will be our team, so called GG. They have managed out this game with that very 2-wheel frag and 6 point as a placement so far. So top fragger for this very team will be our none other than PS2San with that very 5 frag. Or very shout out to him. I will meet you at the very next game. Till then, bye bye, take care. Okay, guys, by now to be the very third game has already been started with that with 21 teams so far, and then after that 2 minutes and 44 seconds left in this very present scenario, and only 2 minutes and 39 seconds left in this very present scenario, and by the time and by now to be there are over at least 74 players, and as by now to be over at least 74 players are over here, and by now to be they need to get over there, and in this very present situative concept 1 to 2 minutes and 2 seconds left in this very present situative matter just by now, and काम पनि सुरु भइसक्यो. Okay, we have over 73 players and 20 teams by now to be. For the team RDTS, players are getting taken down by now to be, and let's just talk about this team. Okay, that will be the very fine knock, and this will be the very fourth frag for them to be. For the team EXE, one of the player already got knocked out by the time, so it is not that much fine thing to just be now, and okay, and by now to be players are getting taken down by now to be, and they have to go for it, and and by now to be only 45 seconds left in this very prison scenario, and for the team GG RST for the teams, and okay, last player already got knocked and finished for that very team as well. This will be the very short and sweet map for now to be, and only 26 seconds left in this very prison scenario, and yeah, RA Beku has managed out. And then after that for the team HiX, PoX already got knocked out. Players are taken down. EXTS IQ already got knocked and finished. And by now to be overall they have managed out 4 frag by now to be. Only 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in this very present scenario. And for the team TDB, overall 4 minutes standing are over here, but they haven't got engaged in any of the fights with it. And and by now to be 2 minutes and 54 seconds left in this very present scenario, and by the time 44 players are over here with that very 14 teams on this very present scenario to just by now, and by now to be and By now to be only 1 minute and 50 seconds left in this Spirit Prison scenario for the team UFO. Over early 4 minutes standing are over here, and when Frankie already got knocked out. And by this Spirit Prison situative matter to just look after it, and by now to be two of the players for the Spirit teams are taken down by now to be overall they have managed out 4 frag for their team, and they are trying to make this game in their own side, so they are trying their level best in this very present situative matter to just talk about. And this will be the very stage 1, and we are going for the very another stage of the zone, but teams are getting exit by now to be, and they have the very vehicle up, so they need to go with that very certain vehicle. Only 45 seconds left in this very present situative matter to just talk about that certain thing, and they has to go for it, and they are getting straight forward with that very vehicle approach in this very present situative manner, and by the time only 25 seconds left in this very present scenario for the team GE. Over only 3 minutes standing, one of the player has already been exited, and by the time only 15 seconds left in this very present situative manner, and only 9 seconds left in this very present scenario for the team STL. Overally 3 players are over here. Overally they have managed out 4 frag for now to be. By now to be players are getting down in this very present situative matter to just talk about it. For the team TBB, Spices already got knocked out. BD and Dole will be the very 2 men standing with that very 5 frag. They are here by the time the healing up process has already been started for this Spirit team, since this is the very second last game that is going very in this very fine way. So I'm hoping for their level best. How will they definitely go for it? That will also be the very thing to just look after it by the time, and I'm definitely hoping for their level best. They are here by now to be players are getting down in this very present scenario for the team BXC. They have already managed out 7 frag for their team, which is a really great fact to just talk about it, and I'm just definitely trying their level best to just make this game beautifully. And how will they go for it? And by now to be overly 21 seconds left in this very present situative matter to just talk about it. There is 3 players standing in this very present situative matter, and they need to go for it, and they need to get up in this very present situative matter. There is availability of the very 30 player and 11 teams by now to be. We need to go for the very another stage of the zone, and only 1 minute and 47 left in this very present scenario for the team. 3 players are available with that very 4 frag by now to be. How will they go for that certain thing? That will also be the thing to just talk about and look after it, and I'm definitely hoping for their level best. I am pretty much sure they will definitely go for that thing to be. And by the time only 1 minute and something like 22 seconds left in this very present situative concept, which is a really fine thing to just talk about by the time, and they are just going straight forward with that very 30 players. We have 11 teams in this very present scenario, and shots are coming in their sides, but they are somehow managing out the situation in their side to just look after it, and I'm hoping for their level best. How will they go for it? That will also be the very thing to just look after it, and the very healing up process for this Spirit team has already started, and they have done it by now to be. So they need to move with that very vehicle approach, as I think something like that, with that very short in thing, and the very energetic flying process has already been done, and they have already done it and they have to move with that very big approach by the time, but haven't gone for it so far. Okay, for the team number 25, solo player is over here, and he is playing solo. I don't know what was the reason behind that, Manera Open, and they are getting straight forward by the teams, and they are trying to make this game in their very sides, and only 9 seconds left in this very present situative manner. For the team B, actually overly they have managed out 7 frag for this very team, and we are going for the another stage of the zone, which will be our stage start, and okay, that has already been converted, and we are going with that very short and flow, and each and every available teams will try their level best to get this game in their own side. That will be the very thing to just talk about it, which is a really a fine factor to just talk about. Only 1 minute and 4 seconds left in this very present scenario. They are going straight forward. For this very team, one of the player already got knocked and finished, and they are getting on up in this very present situative era to just look after it. And only 55 seconds left in this very present scenario for the team B, and 3 of the player already got knocked and finished by now to be, and only 44 seconds left in this very present scenario, and less than 30 seconds by now to be, as we talk about that short in time. And for the team, one of the player okay, 3 of the player already knocked and finished, so there will be the very ability of the very last player to just be over here and there, and by now to be they are still managing out in this very present situative era, so they need to get up by the time, but haven't gone for it so far. But they are definitely trying their level best to make this game on their own side. That will be the very thing to just talk about it, and how will they go for it, that will also be the very thing to just look after it by the time. And Haber has to go for it, but guys, talking by Gosaina, we have been converted into top 11 by the time, and they are just trying their level best to manage this game in their own side. That will be the very pretty much fine thing to just talk about by now to be, and they are getting straight forward by the time. Only 1 minute and 28 seconds left in this very present situative concept to just talk about it, and they are getting straight out by now to be. They have already managed out 4 frag for their team, which is a really fine factor to just talk about it by the time. And yeah guys, we have been converted into next stage of the zone, which will be our for sure to be stage 4th by the time of only 1 minute. So we are ready for the very next scenes that will possibly go for it, to just talk about that sort. In fact, only 50 seconds left in this very present scenario, and I am just hoping for their level best, and the healing of action has already been done for this very team as well, and they are going with that very certain thing, and the holding process has just been begins for this very present situative manner to just talk about it. And only 30 seconds left in this very present scenario for the team so-called BRGY. Overall 3 minutes standing. One of the players for this very team are absent in this very present situation to just talk about how will they go for it. That will be the very thing to just look after it and talk about. And less than 12 seconds left in this very present situative manner. And for the team STL, 3 minutes standing, but they have already managed out 4 frag for their team, which is also a very plus point for them to be. And I'm just looking forward for their level best by the time. How will they go for it in this very present situative manner? That will also be the very thing to just look after it and talk about. Players are getting down. Overall 29 players and 10 teams are available over here. For the team BRGY, overall 3 minutes standing, but they have managed out off frag for their team. So it is a very great thing to just talk about it. And only 29 players are over here for the team STL. Only 2 minutes standing by the time, and they are still holding in this very situative matter. Let's go with that very another stage of the zone. The team UFO players are getting down by now to be, and 3 players are available since one of the player already got knocked and finished by the time. So it is not that much fine in this very present scenario. And yeah, only 1 minute and 14 seconds left in this very present situative concept to just look after it is for the team GR. Overall 3 players are over here and they are going with that very certain confidence, and Haber has to go for the very shots but haven't gone by now. And let's go present situative concept ma 24 players are over here with that very 9 teams, so just talk about it. And
Okay.
and by now to be only 55 second left in this very present scenario, and this is the very stage sports, so we are going for the very another stage of the zone, which will be for sure our stage 5 by now to be. And
by the time we have over only 9 teams in this very present scenario, and they are trying to go for it.
And by the time only 15 seconds left in this very present scenario, we have 24 players and 9 teams by the time for the team RST. Over only 3 players are over all here. They have managed out 5 frag as well. That will be the very fine thing to just talk about in this very present situative concept. For the team Spices already got knocked in.
Finish.
And the very healing up process has already been started. Only 29 players are over here. Over only we have only 20 seconds by the time, and one of the players for this very team already got down by now to be. And okay, for now to be 7 and they are already got taken down in this very present scenario. There are over only 21 players and 9 teams, and this is the very stage 5, and we need to move forward for the another stage of the zone. By the time 2 of the players already got knocked and finished in this very present scenario. And by now to be 121 seconds left in this very present scenario for the team Groom over early. And they are going with that very certain flow look after it, and this was the very shots. One of the player knocked out. That's the very last player are over here by the time. So we are talking about that. So in fact in this very present scenario we have 7 teams in this very present situative matter just by now. And yeah, 12 players are over here by now to be. One of the player already got down at in this very area. Last one standing are available by the time. Only 13 seconds left in this very present situation. We are at on the very kindly last stage of this very zone. And okay, for the team BXC are over here. They have already managed out 10 frag for their team to just talk about it. And only 45 seconds left in this very present scenario, and only 42 seconds left in this very present situative matter to just look after that. And for the team RST, only Dominic standing. Okay, 2 player has got exited by the time, but they have already managed out 7 frag for their team as well. This will be the very fine thing to just talk about it. By now to be only 14 seconds left in this very present situation for the team BXC. Only Dominic standing by the team, but they have already acquired double-digit kill points, which is 10 in number, and we are at on the very kindly last stage of the very game to just talk about it. And only 35 seconds and something like that left in this very present situation to just talk about it. and 30 seconds in less than that left in this very critical situation. And we disclose the grenade. The very heating up process has already been started by the time, and by the time the heating up process has already been started for this very present situation. And only for second left in this very present scenario. B row has got knocked out in this very present scenario for the team BXC. 3 players are over here, and 140 seconds left in this very present scenario. They need to go with that very certain flow by the time, and okay, player got knocked out, and the very finishing off has already been started for the very reflex, and they are going with that very certain confidence, and they are trying to make this game in their own side. And the very heating up process has already been started for the team RS. Last standing will be our Andy T, and game has already been converted into top 4, which will be the very lucky enough team to grab out the very chicken dinner in this very third game. And we are getting ready for that. For the team GOG Star, we're over there that side by the time, and they are making some sort of cover to get inside the zone as soon as possible. For the team RSC, last player will be Andy T, but they have already managed out. Yes, guys, 10-5 for them to be, which is a really great factor to just talk about it. And by the time, only 35 seconds left in this very present scenario for the team BXC. 3 of the player already got exited by now to be, and only 26 seconds left in this very present very batter for the team RST. Last player is over there. Oh, that was nice one, but RST has to manage out 1v3 clutch against the team BXC. But last player just got exited by the time, and second dinner goes for the team. Yes, guys, none other than EXPS. They have managed out this certain game, chicken dinner, and a very big shout out to them. And that was a fabulous game for them to be. And yeah, I will meet you at the very last game. Till then, bye bye. Take care, guys. Top fragger will be our RSP friendly.
And yeah, guys, the very last game has already been started for the team. And yeah, guys, the very last game has already been started for the team GG. We will able to see that player over here. By the team, there is the very 4 minutes standing for this very shortened team, and we are time. And there are over 73 players and 19 teams by the time. So how will they go for the very fine game? That will be the very thing to just look after it. And this is the very last game for this very event. And we have overly 19 teams in this very present situative scenario, and they have or has go for that. If the player already got knocked out, and last player will be just over here, and by now to be players are getting taken down. And by now to be by now to be 123 seconds left in this very present scenario for the team EXTS. Overally 4 minutes standing are over here, and they need to go for the very fights but haven't gone for it. For the team GRO, players are getting down by now to be, and I'm just hoping for this. And by the time 1 3 seconds left in this very present situative concept, and they are definitely trying to make their game in a very proper manner to just by now, and they are getting upside down for now to be. Genius is also getting finished by the time. For the very team, they have already managed a 4 frag. And by now to be for the team RNP, players are getting taken down as by now, and by now to Haver has to go for the very shots. Okay, and for the team 1-2 minutes standing. For the team WP, Tuxi already knocked out by the time, and by now to be players are getting down. Ini, NASA Joy, and Haver has to go for it, and they are going with that very short in short. That will be the very fine shots by now to be, and they are trying to make this game in their own side. And this is the very last game, as I already mentioned out. That in fact by the time for the team RST, overall 4 minutes standing are over here by the time, and they are trying to get straight out in this very present scenario. For the team NASA, players are getting down in this very present situative manner or matter to just talk about it, and only 57 players are over here with that very 16 teams, and by now to be only 2 minutes in. Yeah, 16 seconds left. And by now to be only 2 minutes and 8 seconds left in this very present scenario, and only 2 minutes and 3 seconds left by the time. For the team 3 minutes standing are over here. For the team B is 2-1, and by the time only 56 players are over here with that very sure our teams, For now, WB7 and GR has already managed out 4 frag for their team, and they are still trying to make this game in their own side. And by the time for the team EXE, players are getting down in this very present scenario, so they are trying to go with that very certain flow. For the team EXE, players are getting down, and with that very vehicle approach, Haber has to go for it. For the team EXE, players are down by the very situative manner to just by now only 1 minute and 7 seconds left in this very present situative manner. And only 54 seconds left in this very present scenario for the team UFO. 3 players are over here by the time only 43 seconds left in this very present situation to just look after it. Only 40 seconds left and less than that, and we are going for the another stage of the zone by the time. And okay, and by now to be we are going for the very another stage of the zone. And for the team 7 and GR, overally they have managed out 4 frag by the time, and they are going that very straight out. And they are moving by the very situative concept. For the team DRN, players are getting down. For the team BRGY, one is standing. We have overally 15 teams available by the time, and by now to be we have 50 players and 15 teams in this very present scenario, and Haber has to go for that certain thing, and that was the very fine shot, but he was not able to manage that knock. But team Hack just got knocked out. Subham and Takul will be the very dominant standing to just be over here by the time. And okay, overally 13 teams are over here with that be 37 players by the time. And only 1 minute and 40 seconds left in this very critical scenario. And by the time for the team BRG, 5 players are getting down, and overall 44 players are over here with that very 13 teams BRGY in this very present situative manner. They are here with that very certain flow, and 33 player with that very 14 teams. And we are going for the very another stage of the zone, which will be our stage shot for sure to be, and we are just looking forward that certain thing. And for the team BRGY, domain is standing, not domain but show domain, since the player already got knocked and finished. Last player also got exited by the time. 29 player and 11 teams are over here, and by now to be for the team RST, overally 4 minutes standing, but they haven't got any of the kills so far, so they are trying to make this game in their own side. Okay, that will be the very fine try for them to be, as I already mentioned out, this will be the very last game for us to be, how they gonna manage out this game. That will be the very important factor to just talk about. And they are just trying to make this game on their own side. We are kindly at on the very second stage and going for the another stage of the zone, which will be third for the team UFT. Stones just got knocked out by the time, which is really not good to just talk about it. And 110 seconds left in this very present scenario for the team BXC. Players are getting taken down. .26 players and no teams are over here. and only 1 minute and 42 seconds left in this very present scenario. They have already managed out 7 frag. Only 1 minute and 30 seconds left in this very present situative matter to just talk about it for the team GOG. For the team STL, they have already managed out 10 kills, and they are getting upside down in this very present situation. Only 1 minute and 10 seconds left in this very present scenario for the team RST Nightmare. Then after the RST Sente and died will be the very player. Only 1 minute and 9 seconds left in this very present scenario. And by now to be only 37 seconds left in this very present situative manner. Last round standing are over here, and let's go to the resort. And by the time only 30 seconds left in this very present situative concept, and they are getting straightforward. For the team BXC, players are getting down by now to be. They have already managed out 7 frag for the team, and for the team RST, overly 4 minutes standing are over here. Only the 2 minutes and 13 seconds left in this very present situative matter, and only 18 players. Okay, and then after that they are getting on outside area, and by now to be they are getting passed by. We have overly 7 teams by now to be, and they are getting in that very downside area. Only 1 minute and something like 12 seconds left in this very present situative matter. We have to go for the very another stage of the zone for the team EXC. 3 of the player already got knocked and finished by now to be. And there are overly 18 players with that very 7 teams, and yeah. And by now to be only 9 seconds left in this very present situative matter to just talk about it. And this is a very stage start, and we are going for the very another stage of the zone. So far which will be our stage 4 by now to be, and only 16 seconds left in this very present scenario, and the Haber has to go for that certain vision, and only 1 minute and 7 seconds left in this very present situative concept, and we are at on the kindly last of stage of the very zone. And by now to be we have overly 17 player and 7 teams by the time, and okay, he's showing some emotes by the time, but let's go to the another team. Sukal ESTS, they have managed out overly 6 strike for the team.
And by now to be the very healing up action has already been started for this very prison situative matter. And by the time we have overall 17 players and 7 by now to be. And by now to be only 1 minute and 30 seconds left in this very prison situative matter to just talk about. With that very moment they are getting straight out by now to be how they manage out this game in this very prison scenario. That will be the very thing to just look after it. And yeah, they have to go by now to be, and how will they manage out this game in this very prison scenario, that will also be the thing to just look after it. And only 1 minute and 3 seconds left in this very prison situative matter to just talk about that. Only okay, 57 seconds and less than that left for the very last game stage. And by now to be only 30 seconds left in this very prison situative concept, and they are getting straight forward. And only 25 seconds left in this very prison scenario for the team. Only 23 seconds left by now to be. And okay, for the very prison scenario. And by now to be only 48 seconds left in this very prison scenario. And for the team EXTS already got knocked out by the time they have or has to go for the very shots in this very prison scenario. And by now to be overly 13 players and 5 teams are over here. And by now to be, and okay, we are going for the another stage of the zone so far for the very prison scenario. And only 1 minute and 42 seconds left in this very prison situative matter. And by now to be only 1 minute and 19 seconds left in this very prison situation for the team TDB. There are only and overall 12 players are over here with that very 4 teams by the time. And by now to be only 12 players and 4 teams are over here. By the time players are getting knocked and finished by now to be overall they have managed out in this very prison scenario, and there has to go with that very certain flow. For the teams players are getting down. Last place standing will be our Suna, and last 4 teams are available by the time. With that very 10 teams in this very prison situative matter to just talk about in this very prison scenario. And this was the very shorts. That will be the very finish as well. And only 21 seconds left in this very present scenario to just talk about TTP, BD, and Blue is over here. And by now to be there are overly 7 players and 4 teams by the time, and they are getting ready for now to be. And we are at the very top 4 teams by the time. And by now to be last 2 teams are over here to be 2 between the teams, which teams will able to grab out the very second layer. That will be the very thing, because look after it, this goes the very short. And this is Lazy Whitey already knocked out. The man is over here, needs to go for that very shots. And this goes the very shots, and last player also got finished by the time. And winner is second enough for the team, none other than TBD. And okay, thank you so much for watching till the very end. I hope you guys enjoyed, but some of the technical difficulties were there, but I'm really sorry for that thing to just happen it. And thank you so much, guys. Tada, bye bye. Top fragger will be our none other than Suna for the team. Okay, guys, bye bye. Have a nice night. The man is over here, needs to go for that very shots. And this was the very shots, and last player also got